When you hear the word disability, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of us, it's a pretty simple definition we learned a long time ago. But today, we're going to challenge that. We're going to break down some old ideas and build up a new, much more empowering way to think about it. So let's jump right in.
Okay, first things first. Let's just get a sense of the scale we're talking about here. Around 1.3 billion people on this planet experience a significant disability. That's about 16% of the entire world's population. Or put another way, that's 1 in every 6 of us. So yeah, this isn't some niche topic. It's a huge part of what it means to be human.
So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the definition most of us know, then we'll uncover a really critical distinction. From there, we'll compare two totally different worldviews, explore what quality of life actually means, and then finally, see how all these ideas are put into practice.
All right, so to build up a new understanding, we've got to start with the baseline. What's the definition of disability that most of us are already working with?
This definition from the Cambridge Dictionary probably sounds pretty familiar, right? It frames disability as a problem that belongs to an individual, an illness, an injury, something that makes it hard to do things. It's simple, it's straightforward, and as we're about to find out, it's really only telling half the story, not even half.
And that brings us to what is maybe the single most important idea in this entire conversation. You see, we often use the words impairment and disability like they mean the same thing, but they don't. And understanding that difference, well, it changes absolutely everything.
First up, let's talk about impairment. This is about the body. Think of it as the medical or biological fact. It's a loss of function, like hearing loss, a missing limb, or a ruptured disc. This is the condition itself.
Okay, so if an impairment is the person's physical or mental condition, then disability is something else entirely. It's the disadvantage a person faces because of barriers in society. The focus totally shifts from what's going on with a person's body to how the world around them is designed either to include them or to exclude them.
And this isn't just some new idea, by the way. It's so powerful that it's literally at the heart of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. It basically says that disability isn't just about having an impairment. It's what happens when that impairment bumps up against barriers. And those barriers can be physical, like a set of stairs, or they can be attitudes and systems.
Let's make this super real for a second. Think about a student who uses a wheelchair. What's really stopping them from getting to a class on the second floor? Is it their condition, or is it the fact that the building has no ramp or elevator? That one question completely reframes where the problem is. It shifts the responsibility from the individual to all of us, to society.
So, that powerful distinction leads to two completely different ways of looking at disability. Let's break down these two competing worldviews, what's known as the medical model versus the social model.
On one side, you've got the medical model. It sees the person and their impairment as the problem, something that needs to be fixed or cured. Its whole focus is on the individual. But on the other side, you have the social model, and it says, hold on, the problem isn't the person, it's the barriers in society that are the problem. The goal isn't to fix the person, but to fix the society that's excluding them.
And that right there is the fundamental shift in thinking. The social model says people aren't just disabled, they are actively disabled by a world not built for them. They're disabled by buildings without ramps, by information they can't access, by prejudice. The focus moves away from their bodies and onto the urgent need for change in our world.
Okay, so if the goal is to tear down all these societal barriers, how do we even measure if we're making progress? What are we aiming for? This moves us from theory to the human element, what it actually means to have a good quality of life.
Now here's the key. Quality of life isn't some special concept just for people with disabilities. It's universal. It applies to every single one of us. And that simple, powerful idea has become the guiding star for modern support and policy. The goal is no longer just to manage a condition, it's to support a person in living the best possible life they can, on their own terms.
So what does a good life even look like? Well, it's way more than just physical health. Look at this list. You have things like interpersonal relationships, social inclusion, human rights, self-determination. Notice how many of these are directly affected by those societal barriers we were just talking about. This big picture view comes directly from the social model. It recognizes that good support has to look at every part of a person's life, not just their impairment.
All right, let's bring all this home. For our final section, we're going to see how all these big, powerful ideas, the social model, quality of life, get translated into real-world action. This is where the theory becomes reality.
So what do we mean by good practice? You can think of it as the bridge connecting these big ideas to what people do every single day.
It's about consciously applying principles like respect, inclusion, and empowerment in every single interaction. It's how good intentions become genuinely meaningful support.
You know, this isn't just a checklist, it's a whole philosophy. It all starts with mutual respect, seeing every single person as unique. It means engaging with people as true partners, not just as cases or clients. It's about being flexible enough to meet people where they are, creating spaces where everyone feels they belong, and building a real foundation of safety and trust. These are the actions that turn the idea of empowerment into something real.
So I want to leave you with one final question to take with you. Now that you're armed with this perspective, this idea that disability is created by barriers, I want you to just look at your world, your workplace, your street, your local community. What's one barrier you can see now that you maybe didn't really notice before? Because that new awareness, that's the very first step toward building a more inclusive world for all of us.